Hello again, my name is Benjamin Leddy with FantasyLeagueCollective.com. In this video we're going to go into greater detail about the Survivor Fantasy Championship. Quick review, it's a 16-week contest, full point PPR, it's a total points league with no draft, no waivers, no trades. It's you versus everyone else. You set your lineup each week choosing whomever you want from the entire NFL, but you can only use them once per contest. So let's start there, once per contest. You can only use David Johnson for one game. You only get to use Julio Jones for one game. So you really want to hit on that 200 plus yard game that he has once pretty much every year. One quarterback, two running back, two wide receiver, a tight end, a flex, a kicker, and a defense. 9 spots. That's the lineup you fill each and every week. So over a 16-week season, you will start 16 different quarterbacks, defenses, and kickers. You will start at least 32 wide receivers and running backs. It's PPR. There are a lot more startable wide receivers than running backs, so it's a decent strategy to fill a flex position with a wide receiver over a running back or tight end 9 times out of 10. Now, running backs do get injured more than wide receivers, it's a fact. Every year there are running backs that come on later in the year and have a huge fantasy impact, like Kenyon Drake or Alex Collins last year, so don't worry so much about saving the big names for the final couple weeks. You want to get the best game from each player that you put out there. What does it matter if that game happens in week 1 or in the final week? If you wait too long on using a player, then you risk injury. And then you won't get to start the player if he's injured for the season. It will happen to many, it always does. Consistency truly is the key to success. The contest is ran through MyFantasyLeague.com, which is the industry's best site to run any fantasy leagues. Partial lineups are allowed. You want to start one player on a Thursday night game, add him into your lineup, submit, you're done. Just like in daily, players are locked at the scheduled kickoff of their game. You can make any changes prior to kickoff. Opponent lineups are the same. You cannot see what anyone else has for a lineup until the chosen player's scheduled kickoff goes. It is your responsibility to make sure you have submitted a complete lineup each and every week. Players will receive confirmation emails when they submit their lineups. If you don't get a confirmation email, then your lineup is not submitted. The confirmation email is your verification should something go awry. No corrections will be made without it. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do on the league homepage. There's standings, find out who's played which players, trends, averages. There are a ton of options. You just have to filter through it yourself, find the stuff that you like to use that can help you in the fantasy season, and don't use the stuff that you don't. There are free apps both for the Android and iPhone. The iPhone app to use is MFL Platinum. You can set your lineups off of that. It's less in-depth than the website, but it will work. The Android app is still getting fixed. You cannot set your lineups from there, so we recommend not even monkeying with that app. We are hoping to get it up to speed later this season or next year. This isn't a tournament for beginning players. While anyone can play and we invite them to play, to be successful it takes some planning and definite strategy to succeed. One of the most questions I get asked is, how do I know when to start a player? How do I know when to get the most out of the player that I start? And that is through research. However you want to do it. We offer what we call the defensive versus pages that break down what defenses are giving up on average to quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver 1s, wide receiver 2s, slot wide receivers, and tight ends. It's excellent, easy read data that is great for a reference in all your fantasy leagues. There are a ton of websites out there with unbelievable amounts of data that you can use to help get an edge on the competition. ProFootballFocus.com, SleeperBot app. A lot of people use Twitter and Facebook groups to get the info they need that influences their lineups each week. There are plenty of podcasts out there to get information from. The Collective Perspective is our podcast. That's free. It's great. It's offered on Podbean and iTunes. I say this because, again, this league is not for beginners. It takes more than luck to win this tournament, and some of the options I just gave you will definitely help you out. All depends on how you take in the information and apply it. There are plenty of other options, but the point is, if you want that money and stature, you need more than this guy. We really want this contest to take off. It's our dream, and truthfully, it's in you, the player's hands. If you enjoy our unique twist on fantasy, talk about it. Help us grow this into the world's largest fantasy contest. The more people, the more money, the more prestige. If you don't want to be in the large tournament, which is totally fine, but you want to try out our unique twist on fantasy, we offer 12-team leagues that run 4 weeks, 8 weeks, and 16 weeks. There's a link posted below to FantasyLeagueCollective.com. Links to the podcast and defensive versus pages are there, as are a full set of rules for our leagues. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I'm Benjamin Leddy with FantasyLeagueCollective.com. We hope you have a great fantasy season. Thanks again.